Welcome to this video on the components of conversation processes in Agent Studio. Today, we'll explore how activities, slots, and decision policies work together in a conversational process. Let's start with our learning objectives. By the end of this video, you'll understand the roles of activities, slots, and decision policies and how they contribute to automation in Agent Studio, how slots collect data from user inputs, and how decision policies control the flow of conversation. Let's dive in. A conversational process is a structured sequence of steps that powers plugin interactions, like submitting a PTO request or resolving an IT ticket. It's the backbone of automation in Agent Studio. Now that we know what a conversational process is, let's explore the first component, activities. Activities are the individual steps or actions within a conversational process, such as sending a message, calling an API, or presenting an article from a knowledge base. Each activity is designed to move the process towards completion, like submitting a PTO request or summarizing a long article to the user. In Agent Studio, there are two types of activities. There's action activities that allow you to trigger HTTP actions for external systems, script actions for custom data processing, native actions for common tasks like sending notifications, and compound actions for complex action automations. There's content activities that allow you to send messages to the user, present knowledge articles or forms that the AI assistant has ingested. Now that we know what activities are, let's explore the second component that provides context to activities, slots. Slots are essential data containers in a conversational process, holding information like dates, names, or business data. They come in different types. For example, we have primitive slots for basic data such as stats, integers, numbers, or booleans. An example of this will be a start date. Then we have entity slots for items like a specific user in your organization. Custom data slots for complex data such as a ticket details from an external system. Agent Studio can also resolve these slots in three different ways: through user input, by retrieving the data from an external system, or using predefined values set by the plugin. Now that we know what slots are, let's explore the third component that controls the flow of a conversational process, decision policies. Decision policies are conditional blocks that determine which activities to execute based on conditions, ensuring deterministic outcomes. They consist of several components. Required slots that must be collected first, such as start date, cases that use rule expressions to evaluate conditions such as start date is greater than today, a default case that runs if no conditions are met, and exit or continue blocks to control flow such as exiting the process on failure or ending the process early. For example, in a PTO request, a decision policy might check if the request is made at least 7 days in advance. These components work together to create a successful conversational process. So let's wrap up with a summary of what we learned. In summary, activities handle tasks using HTTP actions, script actions, native actions, or compound actions. Slots gather data from the user or external systems, and decision policies control the flow of the process. Together, they enable powerful automations. Try exploring the plugin workspace to identify these components in a real process. Thank you for watching.